Hey, what's good, bro? I was just checking in with you.
What's good, y'all? Checking in another week. Qualls, what's good, bro? This week we got a special guest again.
Indeed.
Qualls, you want to introduce yourself, bro?
Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Jesse. Me and Qualls go back from the Interlude podcast, so it feels good to be dropping in, man.
Yes, sir. My boy Chop. But yeah, man, no, back with another episode. I had to bring Jesse on for this one specifically just because I know it's gonna get interesting. I don't know if it's gonna get real debate-ish, but we'll see. I think we might actually be a little bit more aligned than we think. But basically, this week, man. So Pat actually sent me the video not too long ago, but we were trying to figure out that if we were telling the story of hip hop from 2010 to 2020, who are the 7 artists that like have to be mentioned, or who are the 7 artists you would use to like tell that story, however you would tell it.
Yeah, and I got that from the Music, the Love Language podcast. Music is the Love Language podcast. So shout out to Clint and bro and them. Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely. But yeah, we're gonna take a stab at it ourselves and jump right in and get to it. I don't know if we want to actually, before we even figure out an order, criteria. What is the criteria for making this list of 7?
I would say the one of the top ones for me was relevancy.
Relevancy throughout the decade, for sure.
Yeah.
Do we have consistency with discography, or would that fall under relevancy?
I feel like it's tied to.
Do they have to be synonymous? I guess
they don't. But
I would say you would have to have I feel like you would have to have a constant, nice discography if you was to stay relevant for a decade.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw his name out there, Meek Mill.
Ooh, you done named this boy.
This is my boy. This is my boy.
I mean, as far as relevancy and consistency, what we talking?
As far as relevancy, yes. I mean, and this is what I'm saying. I feel like Meek Mill is one of them artists that has continued to I personally being, and this is not no bias, this is just me just being a fan of hip hop. Meek Mill, I feel like his album progression has gotten better since from Dreams and Nightmares to Championships, the last album he just dropped. His hip hop aura as him, whining with the trap niggas, the young rappers that's coming into the game, they show Meek that OG respect. We gotta credit one of the biggest fucking feuds that happened between him and Drake, in the middle of the decade. You talk about him being in and out of prison, not saying that that's a highlight, but also him beating the prison system and how like that reform came about. We talked about how he got out of his deal with Rick Ross and snagged the deal with Rock Nation and stuff like that. So I feel like all of that, we kept up with the relevancy for Meek Mill for an entire decade. And that may be my biased opinion, and that's not me about to go hard for Meek Mill. It's just the facts are kind of there.
Yeah, I like how you talked about a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't music.
That's all I was gonna say. That was the only thing I was gonna say. I don't think he's relevant for his music more than he's relevant for being in a feud that he lost at that. And some of the other stuff. So I don't necessarily disagree with the album progression piece. I wouldn't argue that Meek has evolved in ways as an artist, but I don't know if it would be strong enough from a music relevancy standpoint for him to crack that list. Maybe, depending on how deep our honorable mention list go, maybe he would crack that. But I think for him, but in terms of the relevancy and consistency piece, I think they're synonymous if we're talking about the music specifically. So to the discography point, I feel like any artist that makes this list is going to have a consistent and solid discography that has either been at a very good tier the entire decade or they steadily rose the entire decade.
Okay.
So for Meek, we saying no then, right?
Nah, he ain't cutting it. Yeah, not for me. He ain't cutting it for me.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. I ain't gonna. That's the first fire. So I ain't gonna really
Yeah,
put
no,
some
that
more
was
fire
just I had to throw that out there because I was wondering about that with the consistency and relevancy tying into music, making sure that that's like, because you could consistently be around in the
Yeah.
social media world and shit like that, but you ain't dropping shit. So it's like,
And I feel like, I mean, most of Meek biggest hits came from as collabs. They weren't like solo
yeah,
singles. So outside, like everything that comes with the aura of being a rapper, that's what's kept him around. So I gotta agree because music wise, I don't hear a lot of folks like, I'm about to go bump that Meek unless it's like actual mutual interest. Like, yeah, you hear that Meek? Like, yeah, I heard that Meek. Rather
yeah.
than like you just walking around like, yeah, that new Meek is just different. It is different.
Yeah, we miss anything else criteria wise we want to throw in there before we kind of get to solidifying names. So what was the first thing we said? We said
Well, relevancy and consistency kind of tie in together. That's how we jumped on Meek shit.
yeah. Relevancy, consistency. Let's just consider them a group, if you will.
Yeah.
Are we putting
I would separate impact from that though.
Separate
impact to the game.
Impact to the game of hip hop. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, and when I think of impact, I'm like, how much of a mark did they leave?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That could get interesting because there's a lot of people that, well, I don't think anybody that left a mark, but that mark was a small moment in time.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about a summer, right?
Yeah.
Nah, no summer hits.
Yeah,
like legit, like they span 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Like,
I mean,
if they stretch the whole,
they had to at least have a run, and that run had to at least be
3 years minimum. 3 years minimum. That's a great run in hip hop.
I was gonna say 2 to 3, and I might argue that to make the list,
solid 2 for sure.
I'm gonna say to make the list, you might have had to have 2, to be honest.
A 2-year span.
Yeah.
I'm talking about two different runs within the decade.
Oh.
Damn.
I ain't saying you have to, but I would think.
Your list get. Hey, if you do that though, when you start doing that, then your list gets shorter.
No, for real.
It might. Well, I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that aspect. That part is the criteria.
We're really only talking about a few niggas if we do that.
Literally only talking about a few niggas.
I mean, this is true, but them few niggas are. I think if we think about the same few niggas, they're more than likely on the list. So,
but damn, if you do that, nigga, if 2010 to 2020 is the span, if you do that, you moving the goalpost for me.
That would be moving it for me.
Fuck your shit. Fuck your shit.
Championships was hard. 2018.
So y'all didn't like Expensive Pain?
I didn't dislike it.
I ain't dislike it, but I don't even.
It just wasn't. It wasn't the follow up y'all was expecting after Championships.
Nah.
I just wasn't impressed. Like Championships was impressive to me. Expensive Pain wasn't impressive.
Oh yeah, I remember when Championships dropped. You gave it his flowers though, so that was surprising. That was surprising as fuck. So,
look, man, I'm not a Meek hater, bro.
He swears this every time. Like every time we talk about Meek, I'm not a Meek hater, bro. I promise you, bro.
Yeah, Meek was tweaking though. He did Championships. Then his next single was like a Justin Timberlake song.
Yeah, he was like he back in the trenches with it. So I guess he lost his producers or whatever, some shit.
Okay, so relevancy and consistency, impact, and what would be the last one? Because I feel like those are pretty general and kind of capture any other things we would mention for real.
I think that's really it. Cause
are we considering skill? Or is that
I was thinking lyrics. I was really thinking lyrics as well. Like,
I mean, but isn't that a given?
Yeah, I mean, it got to be a given.
But is it though?
Hell yeah.
Because this 7 really only supposed to tell the story from that. And if we telling the story from that, lyricism will be kind of disappearing. Out of
that just kind of made me. That just kind of made me think. Yeah, made me think.
Well, okay, so if we do lyrics, then so if we were to do lyricism, will we really be telling the whole story of hip hop in that decade?
No.
Because you got so many underlying niggas that's not gonna crack this list that are crazy fucking lyricists.
I mean,
like for instance, a nigga like Ab-Soul, if we was talking strictly skill, that's a nigga that should be on the list. But the nigga ain't spawned past a motherfucking. We know how Ab-Soul career panned out. Yeah. Great rapper, but it's like he didn't do anything to like shift hip hop forward within the decade.
Yeah, nah, and definitely not. Oh, did it have to happen on a mainstream level?
Got to,
Yeah,
got
to. Because
that's how you
if
get the
not,
relevancy.
why would you tell the story? Why would
like
part of the story be important for real?
They the relevancy, you know,
I mean, there are parts of the story that may not be mainstream. I don't disagree with you, but I think there are parts of the story that wouldn't necessarily be mainstream.
Yeah,
true, but when you talking about the face of an artist that can push that and like help shift hip hop forward for an entire decade, they would definitely have to be like on that forefront of mainstream hip hop.
Like when in the Temptation story, we talk about Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, and all of them. We ain't mentioning too many niggas besides Motown for real. You get what I'm saying?
Real shit.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Oh, that's real. That's facts. Well,
right.
Yeah, that's the criteria we using. Where do we want to start? You want to start with a list, or where are we going?
We want to start towards the bottom of the list, or we starting at the top?
Yeah, let's start at the bottom. Who's that?
Are we putting them in order? Are we starting at 7 and solidifying them at 7?
How about we gonna throw just in that bottom? So that 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
That
All right.
All right. All right, I'm gonna throw mine out.
Yeah.
I'll say at my 7, I'm gonna go with Tyler the Creator.
At 7?
At 7. At 7.
This is spicy.
It's tough.
7?
And this is all right. So my strict reasoning, when the decade hit, that 2010s decade hit, I was deep into conscious. So when Future hit on the scene with the different, rapping shit like that, it was just like at that time I wasn't fucking with Tyler heavy. I was fucking with Earl. I was fucking with Frank, niggas that was fucking with Future. But I knew the nigga had bars, but it didn't dawn on me. You fast forward that shit like 7 years to, the drop of Flower Boy and the revamping of his entire fucking musical career is like this nigga. And then you go back and listen to all the albums. It's like he been doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he been doing this shit. He produces. But because I'm a late bloomer to the whole Tyler wave of him and just like really giving in to his like wild ass rap, he gotta crack 7 for me. Like gotta crack 7. But he's definitely pushed the genre of hip hop. Shit, motherfucking, we can talk about 2 genres. He helped push them motherfuckers forward. Like Tyler is one of those evolutionary artists that I feel like this nigga should be in all of our 7 if we keeping it a buck.
He in the 7. He in the 7.
But he not 7.
He not 7. But I gotta ask,
and that's cool.
With everything you said. So with everything you said, if the only negative thing is that you're a late bloomer, I'm trying to figure out how you fall to the bottom of the list of 7.
Out of my 7, because the niggas that's in front of him, literally, I know that they've been knocking for an entire decade. Legit.
So was Tyler not knocking for the entire
or was he just not?
Came home?
Because there was a gap between Cherry Bomb and his next drop, right?
No.
Nah. All right. Well, how much of a gap, I guess?
Was Tyler, and I'm not talking about the Lord of Squad shit and all that. I'm talking about musically, what was relevant between Cherry Bomb and Flower Boy? Or what was relevant?
You talking about Wolf? That was the album with like Pharrell and all them on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb, and then Flower Boy.
And then Igor, and then Call Me If You Get Lost.
Hey, niggas say Igor was a flop, man.
Who said that?
I got that shit on vinyl. Niggas.
I've heard niggas call Igor a flop, bro.
That's wild.
They said it was just fall off tape. They said Igor was his fall off tape. I've heard it before, bro. I've been in circles with niggas that said it. And as a nigga that's like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, this nigga Tyler crazy. As a new introduced Tyler fan as of some years ago, I thought that niggas was talking some crazy shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's
a wild statement. That's an extreme.
That's wild as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't never heard that. That's wild.
I have not heard a single person say anything
I've heard
about the album. Really,
yeah.
that's tough.
Shit, that's tough. But yeah, so of course, well, I guess we gotta determine this because he's not 7.
He's not 7. So look,
do we place him or we leave him on the board?
We leave him on the board. Don't place him just. Don't place him. So I'll throw another name out there that I feel like is in the bottom 3.
All right,
Thug.
That's my 7.
Thug, your 7.
Tyler will be before Thug. I don't know if I'm putting them at 6 and 7 yet, but they Thug.
I'm not mad at that order. I would. All right, why Thug at your bottom?
Thug is only at the bottom due to where he came in at.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for where he came in at, he would be higher because his impact is crazy.
Because he came in.
Is Stoner when Thug was that his like?
That's the first. Yeah, that's the first pop up. Stoner and 14? Best Friend.
Yeah, Best Friend. That's 20. This like 2013, 2012, 2013. And then he had his rich homie Quan wave.
Like 15.
Yeah, that's 15.
And then the Rich Gang wave. What was that? 14, 15 too.
Mm-hmm.
Barter 6 was what?
15.
Yeah,
15 or 16. Slime season 3.
We got the mixtapes first because we had Slime season. We had Slime season and we had Slime season 2. That motherfucker.
I'm Up was hard too. Don't forget about that one. I'm Up was hard. That shit was crazy. Then we got Beautiful Thugger Girls on the Run.
Beautiful Thugger Girls was.
So Much Fun was 19, right?
Yeah, So Much Fun was the debut. So in between
like all the back half, that's why I said 7 because the back half of 2000, the 2010s, crazy. That's all Thug for real.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And I feel like you only put him, honestly, I understand because if you switch Tyler and you switch Thug, Tyler way better lyricist than Thug. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give him that.
I'll throw another name out there, then I want Pat to throw some names out there. I'll move both of them up and put somebody else at 7, potentially.
Who?
He may not make 7. He could easily be an honorable mention. I think Uzi is in this conversation somewhere.
You know what's crazy? I type Uzi on my list, man. I type Uzi
only
on my list.
Only because of the back half, and that's why I said he will potentially crack 7, but more than likely he's just going to end up being an honorable mention.
Nigga, Uzi was a wave for all of us. Like that was different. Uzi can definitely be on be number 7. Like witnessing Uzi live, witnessing like in the music sense, like the tapes that he was dropping back and back, like back to back. It was just like this little nigga, like he got it. Like he got it early and like he hasn't stopped since. Like Uzi hit the scene legit 14, 15, and by 15, 16. And he has not stopped since. The niggas still they trying to change the nigga song to a whole new state, motherfucking anthem and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I just want to rock is everywhere. The nigga's still relevant as fuck.
That's 4 years.
All the little niggas is literally, I feel like because of niggas like Thug and niggas like Uzi, it opened the way for a lot of these, the new niggas that came into the door to rap like that. Like, niggas start getting on that, that type of rap because of them 2 niggas. So, yeah, that's definitely a solid 6, 7 for sure.
I would argue that Uzi is a kid at Thug. So because of that, I wouldn't put him in the same decade. I would put Uzi as the runner. Like Uzi's the leader of the new school for sure. So Uzi and Playboy Cardi would be like at the top of my list for that 2015 to like 2025 range or something like that. But just based off of that, like, and who is Uzi kind of like besides the kids, for sure. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of the kids is trying to rap like Uzi, but Uzi doesn't have that, like, all right, Uzi brought on him or Uzi brought on them. Like Uzi as a Uzi, you get what I'm saying? Like as an entity, I guess, it's like, all right, that's Uzi. The impact is crazy. The relevancy is crazy, but like
he's a really good artist for the new school, but not to stretch the decade.
Exactly.
Do y'all think has Uzi been like OG stamped?
Hell yeah.
I guess.
I feel like I'm in a sense. Which OGs are we talking about? Because we got niggas it's the list spawns on. You talk about OG rap niggas, but as far as like, if you sit down and watch interviews, I don't see a lot of like old ass niggas coming out saying like, this nigga Uzi ruined rap or anything. Like maybe in the early days when he hit the scene, but now, hell no, niggas is literally I just want to rocking. Like OG niggas is literally rocking to this nigga shit. And then like, yeah, he's been definitely stamped because I'm looking at a nigga that's an OG status right now in the game. Like we talk about like gay. We talking about whole them niggas, OG niggas, and they definitely snapped that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like they snapped Uzi for sure.
I think that pink tape, that's gonna determine where he falls. I think in the next in that conversation.
I think that's really why niggas is being so crucial with these drops. Like niggas like him and Playboy Cardi. It's like because, like you just said, because they are them new leaders of the new school. Mm-hmm. If these tapes drop, bro, that throne is for the taking for any nigga. You know what I'm saying? That can legit pass them up because there's some niggas on the rise, But that pink tape definitely got to land. How did y'all feel about his last tape? Was that a fall off or what is the continuation?
It was just different. Like the realm that he kind of had to escape to and more of the rapidy rap shit. And then he dropped that. So it was kind of confusing. It was like, damn, bro, I thought you was about to give us the Philly album type shit. Like I thought this was your Philly tape you was about to drop.
The nigga Uzi got balls.
Then he dropped that shit.
Yeah. So Tyler and Thug they seem solidified on the list.
Facts.
Yeah. I got some honorable mentions. And I think this three, I'm gonna do two honorable mentions. We could just get them out the way so they know that they're not gonna be in the 7.
Yeah.
Wale and Wiz.
That's cool. That's perfectly fine with me. That's perfectly fine with me.
Hey, you know who else is probably an honorable mention that will probably be a bit controversial for not making it? But in my mind,
we gonna say Big Sean?
No, Big Sean's a confirmed.
He's an honorable mention. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to figure out where we gonna land on Cudi.
I wouldn't. Honestly, I fuck
Cudi a 09 drop too. That's
his 09 drop. I think Cudi's impact is crazy, but I think his actual
musicianship. So
his career suffers because of Kanye and Travis Scott.
It does. He's like that vocal instrument that has made Kanye the continue his relevancy and his tear, his span. And I feel like that played a part into like, unless you was a real Cudi fan, you know what I'm saying? Like if you was really in there, then that's when it just like it stuck. But his musicianship wasn't always consistent throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? The fall offs, the long breaks, and then the dead drop. It was very experimental, and so it's just like a lot of times hip hop wasn't fucking with it unless you was an actual Cudi fan.
Yeah, I'm like Cudi really only had support when Kanye was there.
So would he be honorable mention, or is he just not in the talk at all?
I don't think he's in the talk for real.
I feel like he's honorable mention. He enough for honorable mention because shit, we don't get a lot of these vocal niggas if it ain't for Cudi as well. Shit, the niggas that we just nigga like, I ain't gonna say a nigga like Thug, but shit, that singing 808 shit. Cudi is really a master of that motherfucker.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
I don't know. I guess I'll just look at the other honorable mentions that we already mentioned, and I'm like, damn, would I put Cudi in that same? I don't know if I would personally.
Cudi he in a different realm. Like the conversation,
like we know the impact, but it's like, damn, Cudi, like you disappeared too much. Like, damn, the album sales. Damn, like, yeah, we know what you could do, but damn, you didn't reach.
Like be honest right now. What's the last Cudi hit that y'all know right now outside of
the shit with Kanye? Kids See Ghosts.
Yeah,
and that was what 19. That was in 2019.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was Kids See Ghosts 19? That might have been 19.
2019.
Yeah, that might have been 19 actually.
Because that was that whole that good drop. They was doing the 7
tapes. That was in 18. That's why I was tripping. But no, I think Kids See Ghosts.
Could have been it. It definitely wasn't 18. Kids See Ghosts wasn't 18.
That good music run was 18.
Real shit. Before that, bro, the last song I listened to by Cudi was Ball Main Jeans, 2014.
Damn.
Yeah. I just want to Cudi to know he got respect. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's love over here. The Cudi love is real.
Oh yeah, I fuck with Cudi. Tough.
But I would add Big Sean into them two names, Wiz and Wale. But yeah, they honorable mentions for sure.
Respect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who else we throwing out there? Are we solidifying Tyler and Thug at 6 and 7?
We can do that. I respect it. You won't get no arguments out of me.
We might be able to argue 5, whoever 5 is for Tyler. Because I got Tyler at my 5. But
I say Tyler got room to move up. At least one.
Yeah, for sure. At least one for sure. But it depends on
who y'all next drop.
I'm gonna just throw one out there that's gonna be. He got to be within the top 4 at least.
Okay.
But damn, is he? I guess this is a debatable one. Wayne.
For the 2010s to 2020.
He went to jail for part of that.
The Wayne last so the drop, what he did a drop in 2011. That was the Carter 4. And then I believe he dropped a mixtape in 2012. And then he went to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
I Am Not a Human Being is 2010. The Carter 4 is 2011. I Am Not a Human Being 2 is 2013. But unless I'm tripping,
that's it.
Did a Sorry for the Wait drop during that time?
I could have sworn a Sorry for the Wait drop.
I think that was
because he had that song with Chance on there. That's how I remember it. I think that was like 2015.
Let me see.
I didn't got that on SoundCloud. That shit ain't no Apple Music.
It's not. Out here, okay.
That's what I said. It's tough because
so I feel like if Wayne,
he had the Free Weezy album. That's what it was.
So I feel like if Wayne is gonna be on this list, and we're talking about 2010 to 2020,
because niggas did go out there and fuck with the Carter 5.
He can't be that high, in my opinion. I just feel like too much of where Wayne is held is based on pre-2010 work, which is to no fault of his. It's just in this particular conversation, it's hard.
I feel like besides I Am Not a Human Being 1, the Carter 4, and I Am Not a Human Being 2, that definitely kind of solidified him coming into the new decade. That definitely did.
I don't want to take it away from him, but I think the impact was already.
If we're not talking albums, bro, Wayne never went away.
Oh, it's not so much about him going away from me as much as
features,
impact.
By 2010, all that was pretty much solidified already. The relevant
every nigga we just named from Uzi to Thug, they all got their shit from Wayne, legit.
Yeah,
shit. Even that was a conversation when Thug first came in, like
him wanting to be Wayne.
And Wayne was relevant during that time. That was 2015 when he was with Rich Gang and shit like that. So that's 5 years into the decade in which we're talking about.
I'll say honestly, Wayne would have to either, if it was mine, I'm putting Wayne at 4 or 5. I mean, Wayne was on my list regardless.
He got to go in that 4, bro. He hit all the things. He hit all the criteria.
Are you thinking about the lyrical part of Wayne that you?
It's not even that. I guess I'm more so thinking that everything we saying, Wayne just kind of added on to in this decade. Like the impact, the relevancy, like, yeah, I guess like it's respect and acknowledgement to him keeping it going because it easily could have not went that way like it did for a lot of other artists. But I guess like by 2010, like he was just already stamped. So kind of like what you said in the when we was talking about Nicki, when you were saying like Wayne, like he had that fall off moment. But like for the most part, like niggas never stopped respecting Wayne. Niggas never stopped talking about Wayne as being for lack of a better phrase, like in the upper echelon of one of them names that got to be mentioned if we talking about hip hop. So I guess that's why I'm just like, I don't want that to be the reason he not on the list, but I guess I don't think he added anything per se. I think he just continued the stamp that he already set.
I think I get what you're saying, but I would say I disagree because in 2010 we get introduced to Young Money, or well, into 2009.
We get introduced
and we only get introduced to him because Wayne brought them niggas on stage. Wayne took them niggas on tour. Wayne started that. So that's first couple of years of 2010s is Wayne like here passing the torch off to them niggas. So even in that,
if we're counting that, then yeah, I don't got an argument. Or I don't have any other like.
I felt like that. I thought that was one of them just default things, like because again, it goes into the aura of Wayne. Like if the fall off never happened after I Am Not a Human Being 2, which we know right after that he wanted to drop the Carter 5, I feel like it would have solidified Wayne possibly as one of the greatest rappers of all time. If that never happened, like seriously, if that never happened, because what artists it's like he already had one decade run. You know what I'm saying? From transitioning from Hot Boys onto his solo career to by 2009, niggas is looking at Wayne as one of the GOATs of all time.
That's what I was saying. That's all I was saying. It's already stamped.
And then that stretch though, like that stretch 08 to 13, that 5-year run, like we already said, for a nigga to really make this list, he gotta have at least 2 runs. He gotta have 2 years. 08 to 13 was legit. All Wayne, Young Money talk, all that shit. Like you got 5 years.
Wayne on his third leg now.
He literally is.
Definitely on his third leg.
But I would say what I was going to argue with what you said, as far as like why you kept trying to say like Wayne was only adding on. Would you make that same argument for then Jay-Z for pre? I'm saying not 2010 run. I'm saying pre. So that 2000s to 2010 in that 90s to 2000s, you wouldn't include them in the 90s?
Reasonable Doubt dropped in 96.
Impact, relevancy.
He would make he'll probably make that list. I don't know how he would be on the 90s list.
No, I ain't saying
probably he would.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he'll make that list. But like that's why I said like I don't think Wayne would be that high. Like not the top 4 to me, because for the reasons I said though. That's why. I ain't trying to take away nothing away from just in the context of the list, but for that reason, I'll put him at 5 right now. He can definitely easily crack that top 4, but he can say that while we shuffling.
Yeah, then Tyler stay at 6 then if we putting Wayne at 5.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't have some of the same names. That Wayne, that Thug, Uzi, and Tyler is definitely, and Uzi was definitely one of my honorable mentions. So,
let's go ahead and just get this out of the way. Where's Cole on this list? If he's on the list for you,
we have 4 now.
We would be at 4.
This is tough. Cole over Wayne. That's wild.
I'm not saying
for the next decade. For the next decade?
Yes.
For 2010 to 2020.
This is weird. This is weird.
Hell yeah. We literally watched.
I'm not putting them
if we talking about talking about the 2010s to the 2020s, it's not me about to jump in my fanboy ass Cole bag. This ain't that. It's just the facts, and we talking musicianship. 2010 Cole not only dropped Friday Night Lights, but the next year which signified as like one of the greatest backpack mixtapes rap fans possibly got. Then followed up with his debut, which Born Center was in 2013, possibly still holding on as one of the best albums in his discography. He followed up, which was his literally the revamp and what rescued his career with fucking Forest Hill Drives. If I'm being honest, that was I'm taking this nigga to the national, global, J. Cole, this is what it is. After that, we almost lost that nigga again with the For Your Eyes Only, because it was a for the fans type of album. but he followed up again with KOD, which niggas was like, that's another mainstream success. Follow back now, and between all of that, we not even mentioning the roster and how you brought in for a player like with Wayne, what he did with Nicki and Drake. Shit, I'm not saying the niggas on Dreamville are as big as those names, but them niggas are more than just 2-3 artists, and I'm adding that 3 because Tiger, some niggas out there are Tiger fans and shit like that. But the nigga has had Jid, Boz, you know what I'm saying? Ari Lennox is literally like one of R&B's hottest young, not even just young stars, but like she is an R&B superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like all these motherfucking names are under Cole, like in musicianships, and where we see him have songs, we see him going that feature run as well. That accounts to, you know, the musicianship of Cole, and that shit was what, like a 2-year span.
That
And nigga was on a feature run for like a 2-year span. Watching niggas, some niggas he was just throwing away verses, but the niggas that he did, like, we've gotten some definitely some cold hits in between this decade. A couple of cold hits. I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, that's where I'm standing at. I wouldn't mind Cole on 4 and 5. You know, if we were switching out Wayne for for Cole,
that'd be my only argument for it.
Yeah,
and and that's only based off of what you said, Boz, Jid, in comparison to Drake, Nicki. Like, that's the only reason I would swap those two. I'll put Cole 5, Wayne 4.
Yeah. No, I don't. Jesse said it all, bro. It's just, there's no need to double down on any of that, really. Same.
Yeah, no.
He said I had to get that one out the way. That was good.
Because I was just like, look, man, I ain't trying to get to the top. It'd be a thing. Look, bro.
Let's be real. Like, just be real. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who goes in this spot.
In 3?
My 2 is solidified. I don't know who goes in 3.
I think I know who your 2 is. I feel like I know who your 1 is. But for your 3, I'm really interested because it's a name that none of us has said yet. And I'm just waiting to see if y'all gonna say this name before I say it.
Hey, Pat, is she in here?
No. Don't even.
Damn.
Jeez.
You talking about Nicki?
Honorable mention.
Whoa, bruh. Listen, man.
Well, if you don't know who go there, what's your argument against Nicki being in there?
That's what I want to know.
I wouldn't argue Nicki at 3. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm arguing. I would say that she probably got a place in the list somewhere.
I know Nicki Minaj fans hate this shit, but she only got 3 albums for real. She re-released the same album 4 times or whatever the fuck. Like, and the sales are amazing. Not knocking the sales, not knocking any of that. You get what I'm saying? Not knocking her impact into the barbs and, you know, influencing women to rap again. You get what I'm saying? Not knocking any of that. And I guess, damn, I'm arguing against my point.
Yeah, you are. That's all relevancy.
And I was gonna say, it's hard.
It's just based off that last one I said, like the influence in other women. We wouldn't have any of them rapping for real without Nicki.
And you also got to count in, like, she was the first female artist of this new decade that was like, I'm talking about global mainstream status. They was talking about there hasn't been an artist like there hasn't been a woman artist like that since possibly fucking, I mean, Lil Kim and Trina and, you know, even them were trying to get on that status, but they wasn't global superstar status. Like, she crossed over to pop. You know what I'm saying? She crossed over onto the R&B charts. She was on the rap charts. Like, Nicki musicianship is there. You know what I'm saying? The pen game's there. She was a lyricist. And like you just accounted to her helping revitalize like the women's rap. The only thing that I hate is like, and I guess that's just rap being competitive, but it's like when you see a new rap motherfucker coming in taking the same ID print that Nicki Minaj had, you don't never get like how the OG dudes, rap dudes be like, yeah, give him his flowers. Is Nicki still saying like, I'm still the queen of this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never coming up off this motherfucking throne as being the queen of rap right now type shit. I feel like, and I don't think that's a knock. I think that's just that competitive hip hop nature, but it pisses me off because, like you said, she only has 3 albums solid, you know, through her discography. She hasn't put out that album. I feel like right now for her to be like that claiming like, yo, like, I'm really this hard in the motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't gotten that shit yet.
So what I feel like what saved her from the album argument, what saved her is she has had a couple very respectable feature runs that I cannot knock. That have
what,
shown
that motorsport.
So in the feature runs have showed us like I don't think niggas doubt that Nicki can rap. I just feel like maybe what all three of us might be saying as far as albums is that she
might
put
be
it
the
together
Dark Twisted Fantasy
in that format yet.
Yeah,
Like, in
that
terms of, like,
that
she hasn't
monster
given us,
verse, yeah,
she
one of
hasn't
the
given us
greatest
an album.
features.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, niggas have been talking about the monster feature for over a decade, bro.
Yeah.
So, she got somewhere. Hell, maybe she has 6 or 7 and everybody else move up. I don't know, but
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I feel
yeah,
like
I don't think I would put her up at the top because I feel like her relevancy.
she definitely higher than
it kind of dwindled, like musically.
Musically,
it kind of dwindled, but like she's there for sure as far as like impact.
So is she higher than Thug?
Would you put her higher than Thug just based off of time?
Might have to.
Yeah.
So Thug 7, Nicki 6, Tyler 5,
Yeah,
Wayne 4.
I'm not putting her over Tyler.
Damn.
Yeah, I ain't putting her over Tyler either.
And only because I feel like what Barb's or just Nicki fans, let me not just do that. What Nicki fans or what people who may argue for Nicki may try to say is they may try to argue the impact and like the status because like Nicki is just seen as queen or whatever. But I would argue Tyler's progression and evolution within rap and hip hop. I think that speaks more to how he's moved. Like Nicki is Nicki, like her influence for women, all of that, not taking that away from her. But what Tyler has done for hip hop and rap as a genre and how he's expanded it, that's why I can't put Nicki over him. So I would say she 6, Uzi 7, Tyler 5.
Yeah, Thug would be 5.
Thug 5, sorry. Tyler
Thug 5,
4.
Tyler 4,
Wayne 3. No,
So
wait.
somebody got to come off the list.
You missing one because Cole was in there, so somebody definitely coming off the list if that's what we doing.
Then we push Uzi to honorable mention.
Yeah.
So what that make her?
Uzi was already on. I thought Uzi was already honorary. It was Tyler. Yeah. It was Thug, Tyler. Then it was Wayne. Then it was Cole. Then we had Wayne, and now we was at 3.
So Nicki 7, Thug 6, Cole.
Somebody got to come off this motherfucker.
Was Cole over? Cole wasn't over.
We had swap Wayne and
Wayne
Cole.
And Cole.
So Cole was 5. Wayne was 4 now.
Yeah, we can't put Nicki at 3 then if we.
She's not going over. She's not going over Wayne and Cole.
So I'm saying, do we put Nicki at 7 and move everybody up?
Do we keep all them though? If we put Nicki on there,
that's giving us we
only got 2 left, and we know who the 2
I'm saying.
is.
I know. So
we. All right, so I'm gonna get my honorable mention out. I gotta get ASAP out there into the honorable mentions for the decade. Gotta get that. Just with nigga has had. I know niggas don't like testing, but it grew on me. He's had 3 great albums. He stretched a decade. The ASAP Mob was relevant for a whole fucking decade. Every nigga was trying to be a jiggy nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta get that shit to ASAP. He definitely played his part within his decade of rap. It's crazy.
We don't get a Playboy Cardi or Uzi without ASAP.
Come on now. I'm honestly.
Travis is honorable mention.
Travis is your honorable mention. So none of us is saying Future. None of us saying Future.
Shit.
None of us. I've really been waiting on where Future at with niggas list because every nigga we just named is literally a byproduct of motherfucking Future. Thug, Uzi, all them niggas a byproduct. This nigga Future legit from the Dungeon family to when he started his career to now.
When was Future first album? 09?
Yeah.
Who though?
Let's walk through the future timeline. Cause we talking about that.
That bitch low-key OD. Hey, that Future timeline is OD, actually.
Come on now.
That Future timeline is OD.
We talking about Pluto in 12. We got Honest in 14, Dirty Sprite 2 in 15. We got matter of fact, I gotta go to the mixtapes. We gotta do the mixtapes.
We get Monster in 2014. We get Beast Mode in 2015. We get DS2 in 2015. We get 56 Nights in 2015. We get Purple Rain in 2016.
Come on now.
Hendrix in 2017.
Come on
and
now.
Future and Hendrix, my bad.
Come on now.
We get Super Slimy in 2017.
Did you say the him and Drake? You said the him and Drake collab?
My bad. That's not on the Future separate list, but we get that shit too. We get the Superfly soundtrack. That's it.
Come on now, bro. Future is in our top 7. Future is in our top 7.
Mixtape.
He's not an honorable mention. Future is in our top 7.
So, all right, who's moving or who getting taken out?
We got to be real ourselves.
Thug gone?
If we doing that, we got to move Thug now.
Thug gone?
Thug gone.
Thug gone, yeah.
Who that put at 7?
Thug got honorable mention. Tyler. Does Tyler move back to 7?
Can we argue? Because of? Let me ask this: can we argue because of longevity that Nicki and Future is a debate on where they stand on this list in that spot?
In 7
careers.
Wait, what you saying?
Like basically, it's either like, could we take Nicki off and place Future on the list in spot of Nicki?
I was thinking that, but I was like, damn.
I know niggas, like I'm saying, niggas gonna be mad, but let's really be honest. Like universally, niggas wasn't around universally rapping Nicki songs as far as universally at both genders is literally rapping Future, bro. No Future word from word. Like when shit drop, niggas know that shit versus when a motherfucking Nicki song drop and niggas like, oh, that's Nicki.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, Jesse. We both know. Niggas be knowing them Nicki verses. Now,
niggas do be knowing them Nicki verses.
They be niggas ain't verses. I'm not disagreeing with you though.
Yeah, it also goes to this: in the middle of a club, you dropping motherfucking Moment for Life over Stick Talk, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of those type of things.
Don't use Moment for Life, bro. Don't use Moment for Life.
That's fair. I don't even think that's fair in the comparison though, either, because they make different type of music. Yeah. Like they selling to different type of audiences. Like Nicki is a hip hop pop artist.
She is.
Let's be honest about that. Like she's hip hop. She can rap, but she's pop for sure. Like they took her and made her a pop artist. They Beyonce'd her, to so to speak, type shit. But Future ain't never got that same appeal. Future is underground mainstream. How the fuck are you at the top of the game but still seen as underground the way Future is seen as underground?
I feel like he like it like that. I feel like honestly he really loves it. Like then you got to think, because Future is also an older ass nigga. Future 38. You know what I'm saying? I could see if like this was like when Future was on that stretch where we talking about, and in 15, that nigga was hungry from 12 to 17. Like that was like, I gotta get all this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
That's a crazy run.
I don't disagree with that.
I feel like I'm putting Future over Nicki. If I'm making this list, I'm putting Future over Nicki for sure.
All right, so Wayne, Cole.
That's at 3?
No, this is from the people that we have. So Wayne, Cole, Tyler. Got the other names.
Future.
Well, Future is one of the ones that we considering. Future and Nicki is the two that we considering.
So because right there, it's either we take Nicki off, we give it to Future, and that leave us with our 2 spots that we have left, which we already know that. Well, honestly,
do it even matter between 1 and 2? Like, I don't think it really matter between 1 and 2. I don't care who goes, like which one goes there, but we know who go there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm want to hear you niggas shit, because I gotta hear this. I'm thinking of 3 niggas right now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm really thinking of 3 niggas.
There's a third nigga in the run.
Let me just hear what y'all say. I know Drake is on Pat's list. I know for a fact Drake is on his list. I know for a fact.
Who don't know that?
So it's just like the other choice would have to be Ye. Is either Ye or is niggas thinking Kendrick? Like where niggas' head is at? Because we got three literal niggas that's like for an entire decade, they have
I
fucked
don't
hip
think
hop up.
and this may sound crazy to some people, but I don't think we put Future and Kanye on the same list.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So would you take? So are you saying that Kanye is a default based off of the same shit that we gave Jay-Z? Because the nigga opened up 2010 with
Yeah.
motherfucking
I kind
My
of
Beautiful
would
Dark
though.
Twisted Fantasy. Then we had Watch the Throne right after.
Hey, are we gonna talk? Actually, I don't know. So as far as the niggas Ye brought into the game,
Travis, Cudi, Push.
did he bring Push
Saha,
in? He didn't bring
Well,
motherfucking
Push
I
in.
guess he didn't bring Push in. Saha wrote
giving.
for him. So, ooh,
Wait.
can that be a knock? Can that be a knock? Please.
It has to be.
It has to be a knock. He don't write his shit.
He don't, and it's, I don't know. Ye,
Ye's an artist. I ain't knocking his artistry. I ain't knocking the performance pieces. I'm not knocking how he creates a stage. He's a great producer. And I mean that in the full, you know what I'm saying? Not only music, but he makes shit a movie. Everything is a movie when he do it. So on some like creative like shit, like I would put him there. But we talking about strictly hip hop, and a lot of niggas is looking at me like, well, yeah, nigga, hip hop still he would fall in there. But with just the niggas that we didn't named already, I don't know. Especially with the two that I got, because I got Kendrick and Drake there for my one and my two, and you switch whichever one, it really don't fucking matter.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, and that's why when he was like, "Oh, we getting down to two," and like, of course, it's Drake in that combo, and of course, obviously, when we talking about modernistically Kendrick, but it's like, nigga, Ye has been raping the game for an entire decade, about to go on his, like you said, about to go on his third one too. He did the early 2000s. I'm telling you, My Beautiful
like
Dark
Ye,
Twisted Fantasy.
I
That
feel like
Watch the
Ye kind of on
Throne.
the fall off though.
so
Nigga did give us Life of Pablo. We did get that motherfucker, and that was a timepiece as well. I personally loved Ye. You know what I'm saying? Like I did fuck with Ye. Shit, everybody was dropping when Donda was getting made. Niggas was like, "Oh, this nigga Ye." You know.
this is Kanye's decade. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne,
Goated.
Life of Pablo, Ye, Kids See Ghosts, and Jesus is King.
808s and Heartbreaks, 2013.
Definitely missed that. Don't know how to. No, 808s is
That's 08. That's 08.
I'm like, why the fuck is that shit on here?
Unless it's like re-released.
Re-release, yeah. I'm like, why the fuck is this shit on here twice?
So
come on now, man. Let's be real, because Ye has definitely stayed relevant for the entire 2010s, 2020s.
Do we extend
For
the
music
list to
reasons
10?
as well.
I ain't gonna lie. I think we extended the list to 10. I think 10 people to tell the story for 10 years make the most sense. Now
I think the purpose of doing 7 is because if we had to cut it, like we could, I think 10 would make it easy.
Yeah.
But 7 makes it like, all right, well, if 2 people had impact, who had more impact? Or if 2 people were relevant, who was more relevant?
Mm-hmm.
So
shit solidified.
So if Ye gets added, is he solidified top 3 or top 2?
Solidified top 3. Him and Drake have.
If he added, bro, Drake and like Kanye's
he's 2.
If you put them on there.
So re-say the list. So now we're gonna have to say it in order. We got Ye, Drake, Kendrick, or we got Kendrick, Drake, Ye, and we say Wayne, Cole, Tyler, and Future. The seven artists that have literally pushed hip hop forward for the decade, for 2010s to 2020s.
Got our
I
weirdo
can't
rapper.
be mad at that list. Niggas would probably flip the order, but that's a solid list right there.
We got our weirdo rapper. We got the nigga at the top of the game. We got the other nigga at the top of the game. We got the nigga that's rivaling with the nigga at the top of the game.
Come on now.
We got the streets with Future. We got Legacy with Wayne.
We got Cole just really on some like
Cole is on some like revolutionary shit.
Just
everybody's covered.
It's like he's in his Nas past in my prime stretch, but doing it the way it's supposed to be done. You feel me? Like literally doing it the way it's supposed to be done. Because at this point, when Nas was Cole age, he was signing like, of course, niggas like AZ and them niggas had still been fucking with him, but it's like he was really trying to push more into them and what he was doing, and it didn't work like that. Versus how Cole doing the shit that he doing. So them niggas, I be looking at it like that. The mirror careers are still there, no matter how much he try to get out of the shadow. Not just so much the shadow, but the scope of being compared to Nas. He's just doing that afterthought way better. But Nas is still on that shit with them King's diseases. I give him that. I give him that shit for sure.